Investigators say the gunman's online activity does show an obsession for violence and extremist ideology. Tonight, investigative reporter Brian New looking closer at the rise in domestic extremism and a new trend that experts are worried about.
In recent years, scholars and security agencies have raised awareness of a new extremist phenomenon known as Salabar extremism. This concept refers not to traditional extremists who adhere to a clear, systematic ideology, but rather to individuals who, much like picking and choosing ingredients at a salad bar, mix and match ideological fragments from different extremist movements and sources. They create a loose, inconsistent, yet personally appealing hybrid form of extremism. Back in 2020, former FBI Director Christopher Wray actually described far-right extremist motivations as a mismatch or salad bar of different ideologies. For teenagers who are right in that stage of figuring out who they are and what they believe in, this salad bar extremism is especially concerning. They are growing up online in a world run by social media, and this pick and miss approach to extreme ideas can be really appealing to them. It's quickly turning into a major new challenge that the whole world is watching, both for security and for society. In the past, extremist groups mostly use real-life networks and rigid textbook-like propaganda to recruit people. A lot of those ideologies had clear, recognizable labels and fairly structured beliefs. But now, with social media, algorithm-driven feeds, online forums, and anonymous groups everywhere, extremist content spreads in ways that are way more hidden and broken up into little pieces. That makes it easier for teenagers to accidentally come across this stuff without even looking for it. Once they do, they can get stuck in these echo chambers and filter bubbles, where they only hear ideas that reinforce what they already believe. And that feeling of total freedom online, like anything goes, only makes the problem spread faster. A lot of these platforms use algorithms that push content design to stir up strong feelings, like anger, anxiety, or fear. Why? Because that kind of stuff grabs attention and gets people to stay longer, share more, and interact more, which means more advertisement revenue for the platform. So even if a teen just casually scrolling through news or checking out what friends posted, they can end up being steered, almost without noticing, toward extreme or really fringe content. Teenagers are often trying really hard to figure out who they are, where they belong, and what gives their life meaning. They might feel ignored by society, disconnected from family or school, or just lost when it comes to unfairness, war problems, or their own future. Salabar extremism kind of makes them right there. It offers this mix and match set of identities, like playing the victim, the rebel, or the outsider. That speaks directly to what they're feeling, and it lets them find their own little corner online, where they feel understood and can connect it with others who think similarly. Security experts actually point to this need for significance, basically the deep want to matter and to have purpose, as one of the big drivers behind extremist behavior. For teens who are already going through so many emotional and social changes, this kind of blended extremism can be really sticky. It just pulls them in. So, put together, growing up in a digital world, right when you're most emotionally vulnerable, Salabar extremism has turned into this kind of perfect breeding ground for more and more young people drifting toward extreme views. So, in September 2025, Singapore's Internal Security Department that's the ISD, issued was a court restriction order against a 14-year-old student. This was a first for Singapore, a case labeled as Salabar extremism stemming from self-radicalization. This kid was missing all kinds of extreme views. He supported the ISIS, but also held far-right hate beliefs, anti-Semitic ideas, and had even got into incel communities, where he developed real hostility toward women. It was a massive blend of clashing ideologies. According to the ISD, he had been talking to extremists overseas through social media and online groups. Someone even sent in a bomb-making guide, and there were suggestions floating around about helping him carry out an attack, though nothing actually happened in the end. This case really shocked people up, but it also showed something important. A teenager can go online, come across bits and pieces of all these different extreme ideologies, mix them together in their head, and adopt them all, without really committing to or deeply understanding any single one. This kind of stuff isn't just happening in Asia. According to a report from Canada's Integrated Terrorism Assessment Centre, that's the ITAC, their authorities have officially put what they call mixed, composite, or Salabar extremism on their domestic security watch list. Here's a real-life example from documents they pulled out in 2024. Back on January 23rd, 2024, there was a shooting at a municipal hall in Canada. The suspect's so-called manifesto was a total jumble. It mixed together anger about things like housing costs, inflation, and social inequality with hatred directed at religious groups, different races, and the political elite.
28-year-old Bazani Sarvar was arrested at City Hall on January 23rd. Edmonton police laid a number of charges in the days that followed. Now the RCMP has added 2 terrorism-related ones. Those are counseling commission of terrorism offense and possession of property for terrorist purposes. One lawyer says 2 videos that appear to have been posted by the suspect the morning of the shooting likely led to these charges.
He very clearly says to the camera.
Western academia and counter-extremism researchers refer to this phenomenon as composite violent extremism, which is becoming increasingly prevalent. Attackers often do not fit into traditional labels such as far-left, far-right, or religious extremism. Instead, they draw from a pool of extreme ideologies to piece together a personalized, hybrid worldview based on personal experiences, psychological needs, and emotional frustrations. Analysts are saying that this kind of mixed-up, piecemeal extremism really throws a wrench into traditional counter-extremism and prevention strategies. Why? Because those approaches usually work like this: spot a clean ideology, then target it. But with Salabar or composite extremism, there's no clean box to check. Someone might believe in white supremacy, religious extremism, hatred toward women, and wild economic conspiracy all at once. Trying to label, spot, or even intervene with people like that has gotten a lot tougher. Teens are especially vulnerable to Salabar extremism. Identity confusion, emotional loneliness, and a desire for belonging put them in. Social media algorithms amplify extreme content, while online echo chambers offer acceptance. Without digital literacy or critical thinking, young people struggle to resist polarized, manipulative narratives. In 2025, conservative youth leader Charlie Kirk was shot dead, triggering a wave of polarization and online fury. The shooter, a left-leaning radical, left references to trans issues, anti-fascism, and even held Irish 2 means on his bullet. Salabar extremism shows how radical ideas have modernized, becoming personalized, fragmented, and algorithm-driven. For teens, it offers belonging and emotional release, but fuels division, distrust, and violence. The real danger now lies in online platforms, quietly shaping these mixed, volatile, ideology.